In this video, we will teach you how to configure and optimize your BlueStacks 5 for Free Fire. So let's get to it. Configuring and optimizing your emulator to have a smoother and much better experience in Free Fire is of utmost importance. So here we are going to give you some tips that you can use to improve the performance of your Free Fire on your computer. So follow each of the steps carefully so that you do not miss any of them. The first thing is to see how many FPS are currently running on your emulator. As you can see, the FPS limit is around 50, even dropping to 30 at some moments. So the first thing you have to do is make sure you have virtualization active on your computer. To know if it is active, you just have to right click on the taskbar and then open the task manager. When it opens, you will have to access the performance option and then access the CPU option. Here in this option, you can see if virtualization is enabled or disabled. In case it is disabled, you will have to enable it from the BIOS configuration of your computer. Next, we will minimize our emulator and do the following. We tap on the Windows Start button and type the word run. Then we open this application and a small window will open where we will have to type %temp%. Then we tap on OK. What this is going to do is open the temporary files folder that takes up space on our computer and even comes to occupy virtual space. So what we are going to do is press the Ctrl+A keys so that all the files are selected, and then we right click and delete. This is to delete all temporary files that may be taking up space or virtual memory on our computer. Now we go back to the application search bar and type the word run again. Open the application and type temp again, but this time without the percentage symbols on the sides. Here another folder with temporary files will open. We select them all again and delete them too. Do not worry, because this is not going to delete anything important from your computer, but only temporary files. Once we have done this, we return to our emulator and we are going to tap on the icon at the top right that has 3 lines. Here we are going to access the settings, and in performance we are going to choose 4 cores and 4 gigabytes of RAM. Also in the performance mode we are going to choose the highest one. We will also mark enable high frame rates, and by default it will show us 60 frames per second. Now we are going to raise it to 90 and leave it there. Then we will tap on save changes and we will have to restart our emulator. Once our emulator has restarted, we go back to the menu option, access the settings, and in this case we will go to the display section. Here we will have to choose the 1920 by 1080 resolution. Then we go to the graphics section. Then we will tap save changes again. We will have to restart our emulator once more, and once it has started, we will return to the menu and settings. In this case, we will go to the graphics section and make sure we have the Vulkan and OpenGL options selected in the graphics renderer. Also make sure the interface renderer is on automatic and textures are on software decoding. Also, if you have a graphics card, make sure to have this option activated. Then we jump to the gamepad option. Here we are going to turn off gamepad vibration. We also turn off this gamepad setting, and finally the gamepad detection. We save changes. Then in preferences, we are going to deactivate all these options. They do not help us at all, and we are not going to use or need them during the game. Then save changes. Now we go to the phone option. In the phone section, we are going to select the Asus ROG 2, which will allow us to unlock the FPS up to 240, and then we tap on save changes. Then we go to shortcuts and we are going to delete absolutely all the shortcuts except for F11, which will serve us to play in full screen. Remember that you can configure the game controls directly in the HUD inside Free Fire. Then we tap on save changes. Once we have done this, we minimize our emulator and go to the BlueStacks shortcut on our desktop. We right click, show more options, and then access properties. We will have to go to the compatibility tab and select the option to run this program as administrator, and then we access the option to change settings for all users and make sure we have the option to run as administrator for all users selected. We tap apply, then OK. Then we select change high DPI. Then we select the high DPI override option, and here we choose the system option. Then we tap on OK. Then you tap on apply and on OK for all the windows you have open. Then we enter Windows again and go to settings, access the gaming section, and we are going to disable the game bar section. Then we go to gaming again, disable captures, and deactivate game mode. Then you have to go back to your computer settings, access system, and then access the display option. Here you will have to scroll down until you find the graphics option, and in the list make sure that BlueStacks is selected for high performance and optimization for windowed games is enabled. Once we have done all this, we return to our emulator and we are going to access the internal settings of the emulator. We are going to look for the applications that are installed, and we are going to stop absolutely all applications. The ones that are already disabled, like Chrome, we leave as they are. We have to check each of the applications to close those that we are not using at that moment. Once you have turned off or force stopped each of the applications that are running in the background, the next thing you should do is open your Free Fire game. When we are here, we will go to the settings section and then information. In the in-match section, we are going to hide our partner's nickname. We are also going to turn off the enemy outline since this consumes many game resources. We are also going to scroll down a bit and turn off shot alerts. Then we will go to auto pickup and enable the fast option. Then we will go to display and make sure we have special effects turned off as well as shadows. Also make sure to have high FPS always on high, and in the graphics section the most recommended thing is to select the smooth option. Here you will have better sensitivity and your computer resources will be much better utilized. In the sound section we leave everything as it is, and in the recording section we will turn off all the options that are on, as this is going to consume more resources than we need. Remember also that in your profile you must deactivate the recordings option. You do this by accessing your profile directly, and in the album section you will have to disable the replay option and recordings. Once we have done this, we close our game and our emulator again and run our emulator in administrator mode. Once we have opened our emulator, we now open Free Fire. Notice that just by making those changes we have made, our FPS are already passing 100. Taking into account that I am emulating the game, recording the screen, and that I also have the audio capture program turned on in addition to all the background applications. Now, we only have to access settings again, and in the match section, we are going to configure our custom HUD. Here, as you know, you can choose a custom one shared by another user of the game. You can see how each of them looks, and when you want to use one of these, you simply tap the use button. At the top, you will see the name of the HUD and some important description. If you do not want to use any of these, then you can configure yours in a more personalized way. Once you have started the game, you will see how your FPS will increase automatically. Make sure you have followed all the instructions we have given you in this simple tutorial so that you have the same results or even better in your experience playing Free Fire. And this is where our video ends for now. We hope it has been useful for you. If it was, give us a comment, a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell so you do not miss any of the upcoming videos we will bring for you. Until next time.